Alright, so I'm bringing this series back, my top 5 series. In the summer, I brought you my first top 5 of the work of Miyazaki. I said I was going to do Spielberg, but I lied. I ain't lied, I just got lazy. Like, really lazy. I'm finishing school up, and it just took up a lot of time. But this past week or two, I've been rewatching another movies. I've been catching up on the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. That's right. I am bringing you a top 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. So, before we begin, I want to go into a history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So the Marvel Cinematic Universe started in 2008 with a little movie called Iron Man. Iron Man was a movie starring Robert Downey Jr. and it was this guy who's in a suit of armor. I'd never heard of Iron Man. So I was like, a movie about Iron Man? Really? Who the heck is that? And what it turned out to be was a really good superhero movie. Now, Iron Man is probably overlooked a lot because it came out the same year as the greatest superhero movie that ever come out, The Dark Knight. But the Iron Man, it was such a surprise because I was like, that's going to be terrible because really the superheroes movies had not been great. You had Spider-Man 3, X-Men 3, Fantastic Four 2. And then Iron Man came out and really surprised us. And it was a really good movie. But the way movies, the way the superhero genre changed was when they introduced these things called a post-credit scene. And at the end of the post-credits, you see Samuel Jackson, who's portraying Nick Fury. And he's like, you think you're the only superhero in the world? Let me tell you about the Avengers initiative. And the world has not been the same since. Ever since that moment of hearing about the Avengers, we've had 11 Marvel movies come out from 2008 to this year. We usually have 2 superhero movies a year, except for like 2009 where there were no movies out, 2010 where there was Iron Man 2, but since 2011, we've had 2 superhero movies to come out every year between now. We're now reaching into the phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And there are some crazy ideas coming, but I want to take a moment and talk to you about my favorite Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. But before I begin, I would like to put one honorable mention. My one honorable mention is I really enjoy The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk was this movie starring Edward Norton, and he was really good as Bruce Banner. I was kind of disappointed that he was not shown in the Avengers movie, but I like What's-His-Face just as much. So I can't really say I hate that Edward Norton because I don't know if he's better than what the Hulk we have right now. So now let's get to the top 5. At number 5, I have Thor. Now Thor it's really the first character really to go really out of the box. You're like, really? You're going to make a movie about Thor, a Norse god? And it turned really, really well. I think the reason why Thor was really good was it was really directed really well. Kenneth Branagh, he directed this movie, and it was incredible. You see Thor, he's this cocky god character, and he's just pretty much a kid with a hammer. And what really evolves into is just a great story. Like, you also have the best villain of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which isn't saying much. Marvel villains have not been great, but Loki was such a cool villain because he was trying to prove himself that he was the rightful king. He should be the king. And it was just a great story there, and another reason they probably brought him back for the Avengers. What you saw was this world where it looked like magic to Earth, but it's really more science. He's like, you call it magic, and we call it technology. Where I come from, a world that's the same. It introduces this whole space era of movies, and it really just opened the door for other movies to come on this list. But the one thing I will say bad about this movie, I don't really care about the relationship between Thor and Natalie Portman. I just don't care about it. It was like a 3-day romance, and then later you see in Thor: The Dark World. I don't like Thor: The Dark World. When I rewatched it, I just did not like it that much. I thought it was just poorly directed, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, I think Thor is a pretty cool movie, and it introduces you to the whole space era the Marvel movies, like this one. At number 4, I have Guardians of the Galaxy. So Guardians of the Galaxy was this really well done, unexpected superhero movie that didn't feel like a superhero movie. It felt like a homage to the space opera genre like Star Wars and Flash Gordon. Now when you hear about the Guardians of the Galaxy, you're just like, who? And really, it's like, who's the Guardians of the Galaxy? Stars this guy, he's a raccoon. You're like, what? Okay. And then, also, did you hear? Vin Diesel. He's in the movie. Okay, I like Fast and Furious. Well, he's playing a tree. Okay. And this movie turned out really, really well. Like, one of the best parts about it, they're all 5 characters who, they're misfits. They've lost a lot of stuff. They're really damaged characters. That's what I really liked about it. But they weren't good guys. They were kind of chaotic. They were neutral characters. That's what I really enjoyed about these 5 characters. Like, Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, it's pretty much launched him into a Hollywood star. I really enjoyed his performance in this movie. And what I liked about this movie was the 70s music. It was just so good. It becomes a character in itself. And the comedy in this movie is so well done as well. And the action is really well done. The negatives of this movie is, well, the villain, of course. I mean, Ronan, I think that's his name. Very forgettable villain. No one really cares about. But overall, it introduced more the space element of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's really, really well done. At number 3, the one that started it all, Iron Man. Now, Iron Man was this movie that no one really expected it to be good. Like, you come out with the year of the superhero movies, like you had the years of like Dark Knight, but then you also have the horrible movies like X-Men 3. You have movies like Fantastic Four 2. Ugh. But this one, it just blew you away. What I liked about Iron Man, and really Iron Man is the only really good Iron Man movie, because Iron Man 2 is not that great. And Iron Man 3, I like it, but that's one thing I loved about Iron Man was you saw how smart Tony Stark actually was. And that's what I really appreciate from Iron Man 3, was you got to see him be a genius. He's more than a guy in an Iron Man suit. And when he's in the cave and he's building the suit for the first time, building the reactor, it's really well done. And the recent movie Ant-Man was pretty much Iron Man, add on a little comedy to it. And that's what the story of Iron Man originally was. But the performance of Robert Downey Jr. was amazing in this role. It's a movie that really relaunched Robert Downey's career as an actor after all of his issues. And it was just an amazing movie. And when you look at Robert Downey Jr., people don't look at him anymore as Robert Downey Jr. You look at him as, hey, that's Tony Stark. Like the Civil War movie that's coming out next year, I'm more excited because we're actually going to get ourselves a good villain, because the strength of the Marvel movies have been their heroes. So if a hero's going to play the villain role, that sounds really interesting. At number 2, I have The Avengers. Now, The Avengers was a promise that was made at the end of Iron Man, and with each movie, you introduce a new character. You introduce the Hulk. You introduce Thor. You introduce Captain America. You introduce side characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye, and it was just an incredible movie for the time. And it's really changed the game of superhero movies. What The Avengers really was, it was just a really fun movie. You introduce all these personalities and all these stars, taking these they taking rows off, and it was just amazing. And the Avengers theme of the music is really well done. One thing I have problems with all the Marvel movies is they do not keep the composer for the movies. I wish the same composer would keep doing the same movie and integrate the scores into like the Avengers. That's what I'm loving from what Batman. That's what I'm loving for what the DC universe is doing. It's Hans Zimmer. He's doing the scores for like everything, except for the new Batman, because he doesn't want his biasm of he doesn't want it to be the Dark Knight Batman. He wants the new Batman to have a different score. But it was just, the Avengers were so much fun. Loki reintroduced as a villain, and this movie also introduces Thanos at the end, kinda. Because we've seen a little Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy, and hopefully he's a good villain. I personally like Thanos' chair a lot better than Thanos himself. And now, my #1 Marvel Cinematic Universe movie is Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now, Captain America the First Avenger was a movie I really enjoyed because I love the time period. That's just the way you tell the Captain America story. And one thing I love about the Winter Soldier was the purpose of a sequel is to make the other movies in the franchise better. It made Iron Man 2 better. It made the first Avenger better. And really what I like about it, it has story, action, story, action, story, action. And the chemistry between Captain America and Black Widow was amazing. Chris Evans was born to play Captain America. Captain America's my favorite Avenger because he's that good old, he's that kid who, he's the good old American, and it's just the best movie. The Hydra coming back was a really big shocker. I did not see that coming. I was like, oh my gosh. And then like you see like all the social media things going like, Hell Hydra, and it was just amazing. The Hell Hydra thing, Hydra saved Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Captain America, it was just a pretty much awesome movie. It's one of my favorite superhero movies of all time. And that is my top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. There are plenty more Marvel Cinematic movies coming. Next year we have Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange. The few years coming after that we'll have Black Panther. We'll have the new Spider-Man. Spider-Man's joining the MCU, thank God. And it's just an exciting time. If you like the Marvel Cinematic Universe so far, I think it's going to get even better. So guys, did you like this video? What are your top 5 Marvel Cinematic Universe movies of all time? Whatever it is, comment below, let me know. And guys, if you like this video, click that thumbs up button and subscribe to see more. All too easy.